Hey y'all, this is what healing looks like. Um, Over the last, I want to say, few years, I've had different ideas of what freedom looked like um, in relationships, for myself, for my kids, and how it would affect my kids, myself, my family. The choices that I needed to make, and um, I really can't remember because as you grow, as you heal, different things get revised. So what I may have wanted 2 years ago may not be the same thing. Let's talk about last year. Last year, at the beginning of last year, I was like, I'm single. I don't need to have a relationship. I don't want a relationship. I can just be out there, and I will be okay with it. And that was the beginning of last year. So a few months passed, and I actually I got hurt. I was supposed to go to Florida to visit friends, and my daughter's father came down. I was living in Baltimore. He's in Philly. He came down to watch the children, the kids, for the week while I was gone, and I hurt myself, and I was not able to go, like literally last minute. So I had to stay, and he stayed the whole week since I was hurt. It was my leg. And that whole week, it was like, okay, he cleaned, he doesn't cook, but I was sitting on a chair and I was, giving him instructions on how to cook. And I was like, ooh, I think I like the idea of having a partner. It may not be him, but I like the idea of having a partner. Like, I can get with this. Like, I can see where it takes, like, some burden off of you. And if it's good, it's good. And whatever. So my idea changed. I'm like, I'm open to having a partner. I'm open to it. And so I was talking to my mentor, and he's like, great, great, that's good. So moving forward, this is last year, a lot of things have happened since last year. And this year I definitely learned how to be, and I'm still learning to be vulnerable. And I'm not completely sure, like, if do you vomit vulnerability? Do you balance vulnerability? I haven't figured that mess out yet, but it's happening. I'm doing my best to be vulnerable when I'm not in my fight or flight moments or survival moments, and just see how everything pans out and be strong in that vulnerability. Because for me, vulnerability is strength, and it's become strength for me. Um, but um, I'm now like, so what people don't know is I am now in Atlanta. And my birthday was in September. I came down for a camping trip, and I was like, I'm not going back. So it's me and my daughter down here in Atlanta. And prior to moving down here, I was asked exactly, what do you want for your life? And I was like, okay, I want to own an RV. I want to travel with my children. And, if I have a partner, I said, but I want to feel free. I don't feel like I need to have a house or anything like that. And the person I was speaking to was like, okay, that's cool. They didn't say anything bad about it, supported it. And I'm like, okay, that's freedom for me, because at that space, I was like, whomever I was dealing with, I could not see myself being a part of what I wanted. Um, and I was just like, it's just me, and whatever happens, happens. And what I have come to realize specifically tonight was that I was running, and I have been running most of my life. I did not grow up feeling like I was part of my family. I did not grow up feeling like I was safe or welcomed in my home in a way where, when I say safe, I don't mean like abuse or anything, but I always had to walk on eggshells, or didn't do anything right, or, I couldn't be myself. And I didn't even know who I was, because I wasn't really allowed to, I didn't feel like I was allowed to be that myself. Um, and as far as welcome, me and my mother have never had a great relationship, and I've always felt like there was, she resented me, and it definitely took a toll. Like, I never wanted to get married. I never really wanted to have a family or kids, technically. But I'm grateful for my kids. Please don't confuse that. And I never saw myself like having that, because what I realized is tonight, if I never felt welcomed or accepted or good enough in my family, why would I feel welcomed or accepted or good enough having my own or with somebody? Like, I never felt like I needed to have a relationship. And looking back, I really never had like great, consistent relationships. And that really, it blew my mind tonight. And so many other epiphanies came through. And because of that, I have been running. But the thing is that during the course of my life, I've been meeting people who made me feel not good enough, or who they themselves don't feel good enough. So they place that on you, and you're already triggered by it because that's how you grew up. I'm speaking of myself. And I'm like, neither one of you feel like you're good enough to be with each other, but you might care about each other. And there was this one person who I literally, I knew they were that person, everything about just us. It's like, okay, that is that person. And I'm sitting here, we reconnected this year. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, the reason I run away, or I did in the past, was because I thought that that person would wake up one day and say they're not good enough. Or, why are they with me? And so now I'm in a space where I'm like, honestly, this is the person that makes me happy. If I think about it, this is the person I want to come home to, or I want them to come home to me, and I want to greet them, and I feel happy with them. I feel happy apart from them. And why are we not doing this? Why are we not moving towards this? And for me, it's an epiphany that I can see myself being good enough now. I was telling my daughter's father a few months ago, like, he was like, okay, well, you got to realize you can't have everything you want. And I was telling him, I'm sorry, you need to go tell that to somebody that really thinks like that and really thinks that's real, because I can have whatever I want, and your daughter too. I don't have to settle. I'm not going to settle, and neither will our daughter. And I'm sitting here like, what I want is in this person and everything I want, and I don't want to settle for anything less, because my soul cries out for this person, and it's nothing detrimental. It's not desperate. It is just there, and it's consistent, and that's my happiness there. And I really had to have an honest talk with myself. Shout out to my mentor, because she had a conversation with me about being honest with yourself. And I really had to cut everybody off this week. I told everybody I am taking a break. I don't want to hear the clutter of everybody else's opinions of what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, where I should be looking at. No, because sometimes we need to just cut people off and just listen to ourselves and listen to our soul, listen to our spirit. What is the truth that we're going through? What is the truth that we need to see? And I'm so grateful for that advice my mentor gave me, because I needed that. And so much has become clearer this week. So back to the story. And I realized I'm just running away from not being good enough. I haven't faced it, and I thought I did. I'm running away from not feeling welcomed in a home that hasn't, or a relationship that hasn't even really manifested in the completeness that it needs to be in. And I'm fearful. It's fear. And I've been trying to figure out what this fear is that I'm still having, that I didn't know what to, pinpoint it or what to look at. And that's what it is. And I'm so like, okay, once you acknowledge something, that's kind of when you put it to an end. As long as you can acknowledge it and accept it. And I'm accepting it. I'm making this video, or audio, whatever. I'm accepting it. I have been running away from not being good enough within a family unit, of not feeling whole within a family. The stability is just, or the lack of stability and the lack of commitment is honestly my fear of not being good enough, of not being accepted within a unit, and just trying to eliminate it completely because of my experiences. And I knew a part of this because I'll be honest with you, when it comes to sitting at a table with family to eat, I get anxiety. I get anxiety because I don't feel like I belong. From my experiences as a child sitting at a table, it was always, well, you did this. This is what you did. This happened. It was always being reprimanded instead of love. So I don't like to sit at a table with my kids or family, especially, family, and eat because it really triggers me. It puts me in a space. And it makes sense that I have carried that feeling of not being good enough into other spaces, like just started a wonderful job. And that fear of not being good enough, of not being able to handle their expectations of me because I'm going through my own personal stuff. And this company has been nothing but good to me and accepting. And they have completely adapted to my situation so that I can still make my hours, pick my child up, and get the work done. Like, it's been beautiful. And I don't have to work the weekends. So it is possible that things can work out for you. And I'm seeing that, and I wasn't able to see that clearly these last few weeks. And that's where a lot of the challenges have come. Sorry, allergies. So to see this, have this epiphany is so beautiful for me right now because let me tell y'all, I'm about to get what I want. I'm not playing. And, when you heal, you have to get to the root of it. And these last few years, I have been like slowly chopping down the weed or the tree trunk. Let's call it what it is, the tree trunk. Because these triggers and these whatever you want to call it, situations are so thick and they show up so heavy and strong within our lives. My life, you gotta cut across so wide and dig so deep to get down to the root. And this is the root. I've been running my whole life. And it may not sound like I'm emotional, but I'm emotional right now because it is that simple. And for something that is that simple to discover has caused so many issues within my life. But all that's about to change. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I don't even know if this is going to be titled because, listen, so much is going through my head right now. But I hope this helps somebody out there because it definitely helped me, almost 15 minutes of rambling. Just know that I'm sending love out there and, little by little chop down that tree trunk that we have allowed to grow within our lives and get down to the roots so we can be happy. Not just me, but you and somebody else. And, if somebody needs space, give them their space, respect it. If somebody just needs to get it out so they can process, just let them get it out. Don't give them advice. Just hold that space for them. That's what holding space is for. This journey is not easy. But this is my journey. This is what healing looks like. And I love y'all.